Do you think that because there are people who say that the president didn't make any promise, he just said it was his turn. But then I do have a list of the things, the promises that the president made. For someone who's watching what's happening in Nigeria and from a party that you used to belong to, in fact, you were one of those people who fought the PDP to bring the APC into power. Are you happy with yourself?
Well, I'm not happy with myself, and I've made it very clear before today to Nigerians, and I've apologized to Nigerians of my position in 2015. And I believe by now, Nigerians have forgiven me for the role I played in bringing APC to power. And as at then, some of us did not have the spiritual powers to know what will be good and what will be bad.
Okay.
We were only trying to see how we could have given Nigeria the best as at that time in 2015. But unfortunately, we brought the worst to Nigeria. And that is why some of us, without fear or favor, have decided to be speaking out to condemn the evils APC has brought to Nigeria. And that is why today you can see clearly, for Nigerians come up with a nickname for our president by saying he's T-Pain. In fact, right now, they've even changed it. If you go to social media for the past, few hours, it has changed from T-Pain to T-Pain Pro Max. So that's to tell you how it's bad. And, the APC and the presidency will continue to be in denial. But the truth is, things are very bad. And the president has not met, to his expectation of what Nigerians believe. But to some of us, we knew from day one that there was nothing new, the president was bringing to the table. Even when he said he wanted to continue from where Buhari stopped. Where Buhari stopped seems to be better today than where he's taking us to. So it could have been better. It could have been better for him to come and tell us, I'm going to be stagnant from where Buhari is leaving the country, than coming to tell us, I'm going to continue, because Buhari, as worst as Buhari, it was not as bad as what we're experiencing today. The truth remains that this government has failed, and I think at this point in time, they should be apologizing to Nigerians for the hardship.
But is it really fair? Is it really fair? Because this is just the start, of this government. It's just a year plus, and it's got, let's say, give or take 2.5 more years to go. Is it fair to start now to say the government has failed? I mean, and for saying that the government of Tinubu had no plans, I have a long list, about 13 things that the president said he was going to do. As we speak right now, the Students' Loan Fund is live. People are benefiting from that loan scheme, and many people would applaud it and say, well, at least their children can go to school, even though we're facing a certain level of hardship that even some parents will not be able to pay fees. So isn't that a good thing? Also, there are those who would also say that, see, whether you like it or not, the situation of things was going to be this bad, whether it was, just as you have said, whether it was Peter Obi, whether it was Atiku Abubakar. The president is saying right now that ministers should reduce the number of the cars in their convoy to 3. Isn't that something that should be applauded? At least he had said, one of the first things he said was that he was going to run a lean and efficient federal government with zero tolerance for wastefulness, corruption and inefficiency in public service delivery that will serve as a role model to other forms or arms of government. Isn't that what he's doing?
Well, let me take you by telling you, this president is the most unserious president Nigeria has ever had.
How so?
And I will tell you clearly. Because the president speak, and even people around him does not honor his words. Let me take you back. And that is why some of us have made it very clear that the president trying to say this cost of governance and ministers should reduce their convoys to just 3 cars. My sister, I will tell you clearly, mark today, go to the street of Abuja. You are going to see that ministers still have their usual convoy. I can tell you for free. Why? is because they don't have respect for the president, because they know the president does not keep to his word. They are following his footsteps. Let me tell you. Remember, the president told Nigerians before now that government officials must not travel or make foreign trips. He made this early this year, that they will not make any foreign trips. Before any government official make any foreign trip, you must get an approval from the office of the presidency. Till today, have they kept to that? The answer is no. I tell you, I see government officials every day traveling from one continent to the other. Who give them the approval? So they did not take that directive. Secondly, the president again came back to us and told us, I'm going to have, from today, my foreign trips, the delegation is just going to be 20. The vice president, my wife, is going to be, I think about, is it 10 or 5, something like that? But my darling, since then, the president has traveled with more larger delegation than any other president have done in Nigeria, anywhere he goes to. For a man who told us, I'm going to be traveling with 20%. The vice president in recent time, all the trips he has made, he has traveled with more delegation than anybody. So the president just like to sweet talk Nigerians. He knows what Nigerians want to hear. So he comes out and make it public, I'm taking this decision. But it's a decision that himself cannot even enforce it. So people in his government does not take his word serious. And that is why there is massive corruption today in this administration. Massive corruption.